Well, folks, get ready for another shift in our weather pattern across Central Oregon. Hey, everyone, I'm Darrell Winninger, Chief Meteorologist at Central Oregon Daily News. Now, today we had tons of sunshine. There is a little bit of haze in the air. Some of that smoke particulate matter is impacting our air quality a little bit, but on the other side of the Cascades, they had fog last night that stuck around today. Tonight, some fog is expected through parts of Central Oregon as well. Now, temperatures are going to fall to well below freezing, and we are looking at not much in the way of breezes to help stir things up. And so if any fog does develop, we have that potential for some freezing fog. But look across Central Oregon right now. We have another breathtaking sunset on our hands. And ultimately today, under this sunshine with temperatures well above freezing, we did not do too well with the snow report, I should say, because we have 30 inches at Bachelor, 20 inches at Hoodoo, and each one of the reporting stations lost about an inch. Now for tonight, no new snow is expected, and we got another bluebird day at Bachelor on tap, and outside of that, we actually have some light clouds. Now temperatures are going to be coming back through the 30s and into the 40s in our lower elevations, but even with the bluebird conditions at Bachelor, you might look down slope and actually see some fog, some clouds closer to the surface of our lower elevations, and that's because of some of the fog that's going to be setting up later on tonight. But right here and right now, not much happening. It's still clear. However, several other cameras, mostly the Oregon Hazards Lab ones, these plume detection cameras that continuously move around, have been focusing on a couple plumes. One of those is the Hinkle Butte camera, and it says its x-axis is plus 70, so it's looking to the east and a little bit to the northeast of Hinkle Butte. And so we are just continuing to track some light smoke plumes. Some of these are pile burns, others are ag burns, and ultimately because of that and this high pressure, we are looking at the potential for some areas of poor air quality, and that's why we have this air stagnation advisory, all that green area that you see across the state. The brown, the reddish brown, or the burnt orange, if you will, that is an air quality alert issued by the DEQ until 7 a.m. Friday, and the teal color or aqua color that's near Roseburg, Medford, south of Eugene pretty much, that is a freezing fog advisory. So the potential for some slick roads there, and here on the high desert we even have some of that as well. But moving in closer, the two that we're focused on right now are the air quality alert and the air stagnation advisory, because we have had periods of poor air quality. Right now, not too bad. We have good to moderate air quality. A couple of these sensors are either orange or red. Now remember, orange is unhealthy for sensitive groups. Red, that MADRS sensor, is unhealthy. Also remember, Hinkle Butte is about right here, and that's where we had one of those pile burns, so not quite near the MADRS sensor. However, some others are, so it's something we're continuing to track. Now, this is just two of the networks that we use for air quality monitoring. The DEQ is the surface map. That's the green with a little bit of yellow, and the eSpace are all the little dots. Now, all these little dots are all purple air sensors, and most of these are moderate. You can see where there have been some pile burns out there, and there are a couple of sensors that are showing unhealthy for sensitive groups, maybe even unhealthy. It's something we'll continue to track through tonight, because we still have the air quality alert has been reissued by the DEQ, and we have that air stagnation advisory. Meanwhile, when we look at roads, not too shabby. They're dry, and through the next couple of days, they stay very dry. We've had some melting, some compaction through the Cascades, and each one of those past cameras shows good driving conditions on the roads. Now, where we've had some melting and we get back down to a freeze tonight, we are expecting a little bit of a refreeze. It's something that is always on our minds this time of the year. Now, satellite and radar shows, well, not much. Tons of sunshine under this ridge of high pressure, but there are a couple, fighting off a sneeze real quick. There are a couple spots I want to focus in on. Number one, the first spot is between Roseburg and Portland. That's where we have some of that fog that lifted up. It's going to settle again tonight. Now, when you can barely see it on the map there. On the flip side of that, between Boise and going to Twin Falls, really between Ontario and Twin Falls of southern Idaho, same thing. Now, that we've shown you a couple of where we know there is some fog. Right along the gorge on I-84 in Pendleton, we have some low-level cloud cover there too. It looks like it's starting to spread to the south, and that could be the beginning of some fog beginning to spread out. We were just looking at road condition cameras, and they don't look too bad. We're still firmly under this ridge of high pressure. So we're staying dry. With high pressure comes subsidence. That subsidence is pushing the air back towards the surface. That's why we have the potential of some of this poor air quality, but it is just temperatures dry up there. And when it comes to the pressure gradients, those pressure lines, isobars, if you will, some of them are tightly stacked to each other, so we have a couple steep gradients. It is getting a little breezy at times, but overall not too bad. Tonight alone, we have fog starts to set in around 10 or 11. It really starts to dig from the north in Wasco County into Jefferson, then Deschutes and Crook County, starting to spread out and could become dense at times. Also, we're looking at the potential for some freezing fog where we get cold before the fog sets up. That lasts into tomorrow morning, then it lifts up, starts to dissipate. But for those of us, we see it every year this time of the year, where fog starts to lift up and then it just stays stubbornly over the surface, making overcast conditions. If that's you, it's not going to warm up much. And historically, that's happened in our lower elevations. And then it could be happening again Friday night going into Saturday. But outside of that, clear on top of the fog. And we are looking at the potential for temperatures to start warming back up as we get into the weekend. So right here, right now, we already have moderate to high relative humidity values. And that's going to really help us paint the picture of when this fog is going to set up. Once we get to 90 to 95%, you'll start to see some fog either beginning to settle in or starting to develop. Meanwhile, today, temperatures topped out in the 50s with a few 40s on the map. And right now, we are in the 40s. And it's just going to get chilly. Then it's going to get cold. So right now we're already running between 4 degrees warmer and 13 degrees cooler than 24 hours ago. So temperatures fall back through the 30s into the 20s. Notice we're looking at the potential of fog setting up after about 11 p.m. By then, most of us are already freezing. And so we are looking at freezing fog, and just temperatures do not go very far the next couple of days. Meanwhile, under this high pressure, outside of those areas of fog, it's going to be sunny. It's going to be cooler. We'll call it chilly with highs in the 40s, a few 30s and 50s. By Saturday, high pressure starts to set back up again. We have some of that AM fog, highs in the 40s with a few 50s, and then a subtle warming trend beginning Sunday and Monday. So as we go forward through Martin Luther King Jr. Day, we are looking at warming back up to well above average for this time of the year, back into the 50s, at least for a couple of days before the next shift in our weather pattern. Between now and Sunday at 11 p.m., no rain in sight, no snow to speak of, and your forecast model shows just that, where we are looking at some overnight fog lifting up, starting to fizzle out, or dissipate, I should say, but lingering through parts of the high desert by Friday afternoon. Same thing happens on Saturday, where some of that is sticking around. It starts to descend, brings us some freezing fog, and by Saturday afternoon, we're back to more sunshine. By Sunday, more sunshine. By Monday, more sunshine. Each day just brings a little bit of cloud cover to the high desert, and ultimately, even our extended forecast model, that's not as high as resolution, but it does reach out a little bit further. It's showing that each day we have tons of sunshine through Martin Luther King Jr. Day. By Tuesday, some late clouds. By Wednesday, more clouds. And then Wednesday evening, going through Wednesday night, we're looking at the potential for a few rain and snow showers becoming snow showers. And then by Thursday, it starts to clear out again. So not much in the way of totals, definitely nothing between now and Wednesday at 5 p.m. Meanwhile, when it comes to winds, we have this light breeze, and it's been a light breeze, from a gentle breeze to a light breeze. And through the overnight hours, it calms down quite a bit, but we never really see it pick up into that breezy range as we go all the way forward through the rest of this week and into the weekend. So for tonight, we're talking 20s with a few teens, areas of freezing fog with calming. By Friday, cold start, chilly day. Some of that fog lifts up, doesn't dissipate. Where that happens, we are looking at even colder conditions. So some of these temperatures will bust tomorrow, but that's just because that's where that fog is lifting up, bringing us a solid deck of clouds and not thinning out. Then looking through the next 7 days, we have this back-to-back nights of the potential for freezing fog. After that, more sunshine, more warming, back into the 50s, and that next chance of precipitation holds off until hump day of next week and Thursday. At this point, doesn't look like much in the way of totals, but hey, we will take whatever we can get. We just need it. It needs to actually be winter for a little bit at least, because that's how we build up the snowpack and get the precipitation that makes for the water that we're looking at during melting season. Now, our weather headlines include some of this freezing fog tonight. A cooling trend sets up today, continues through the next couple of days. It's just getting chilly and staying dry through the weekend. So there is no precipitation in sight, and some fog is expected through the overnight hours. That's the latest in weather. Join us tonight on Central Oregon Daily News. Well, the latest headlines and your most reliable forecast. See you then.